Hello, hello. I am thoroughly enjoying this high-speed internet, and so we're going to pick up in Luke 6. This is part of the same chronology of the last video. This will be a video B, and we're going to read verses 27 through 36 together. And then I'll go back and I have just a few notes for you. But I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you. And from him who takes away your goods, do not ask of them back. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that for you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father is also merciful. And so we can see that Luke's version is kind of condensed a little bit more here. And so when he is contrasting the Pharisaical and Mosaic law, which is what Jesus is doing here, right? He's interpreting the law and contrasting here. You're going to see when he refers to the Pharisaical law that, especially back in Matthew, he said, you have heard, right? So this is appealing to their oral law, which we've spoken about several times now, that's been passed down, right? It's not actually written, it's just this oral law. But when referring to the Mosaic law, okay, he'll say it is written, right? So he's appealing to the written 613 only true Mosaic law, okay? And so he's specifically contrasting what they know as under the Pharisaical law, okay? And remember that he is speaking to those who are under the law. The cross has not happened yet, right? So they live by these laws. We, in the new covenant, are not under the law, right? We heard straight from the get-go in Matthew, Jesus came to fulfill the law, right? And so we do not live under the law. So this is not prescriptive, what we call it, right? It is descriptive. It is explaining what is happening in that time, but it's not a prescription for what we are supposed to do, as in what we are commanded to do. Now, will we hear these things and see these things again after the cross? Absolutely. There are several of these things. Are a lot of these good principles and morals to pull from? Absolutely. But remember, I teach in context, right? The class that I teach here is called Context Gives Clarity. And so we need to keep the word in the context of which it is given. And so in this case, the people he is talking to, are under the law, right? The Mosaic law. And so when he says, but I say unto you, okay, that's his contrast, right? You have heard, or it is written, but I say unto you, right? This is because he is interpreting the law correctly for them. And so this is why when I said the Sermon on the Mount is just a location, but better said as Christ interprets the law. And so a lot of lessons, this is what I just said, I'm just reading my notes here, a lot of the lessons carry over into the epistles in the law of Christ, right? But we are not specifically under the law that they're under there. And that wraps up this portion of chronology. I will see you again.